Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Exigent Sports. Coach DJ Pendergrass here with Coach Cam Haney, my bad, Haney, out of
Yeah,
California. My
yeah,
man, I got to sit back and watch some of your highlights, Coach. You was nice out there on that field in high school.
yeah, man. It was. I had a good high school career, man. I played corner and running back, so
Yeah,
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 man.
that was nice.
Good.
So, what was your 40, Coach?
My 40 coming out, I probably ran about a 4.5, and then towards my senior year of college, I was in the 4.4s.
Nice, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. So, did you play any other sports besides football?
I ran track a little bit in high school and stuff like that, but I went to a all boys Catholic school. We was real good in football, so it was kind of a school where you stuck to one sport. But I would run and train with the track team as well, and work on my speed. So, but I was primarily just football. That was it.
Right, right. So tell us a little bit about where you're from and a little bit more about your. Did you play youth football?
Yeah, so I played youth football. I played for a few teams in LA. I'm from Los Angeles, California. So I was able to play all around the city and get around, different players and different people from all over the city. LA is a real big city. We got about 4 million people there. So it's a lot of different areas of talent. You got Long Beach, you got LA, you got South LA. You got the Valley, which is about 30 or 40 minutes outside of the actual inner city. And then you got Compton, you got Watts, you got all these different, areas and backgrounds and, of different people that you could play with. And, I touched every single part of the city, which is why I know a lot of people in the whole city because I played Pop Warner, you know, with different people from all over. And then I was fortunate enough to play on a few All Star teams. And I played in the Snoop Youth Football League. So, that's a real highly competitive league that's out of Southern California. And they had a special on it on Netflix at one point in time and stuff like that. So I was able to play with elite guys. And then going into high school, those same players that I played with, whether they were older or on my team, we all ended up going Division 1. At the end of it as well. So, I was fortunate enough to have a skill set that allowed me to be able to go and travel and meet different people. So it was good.
So you actually got to play on the Snoop's team. Was he the coach?
He was the coach on the older team. My coach was Willie McGinnis. Willie McGinnis and the Raiders head coach. So basically, like, they'll chop the teams up. You got age 12 to 13, and you got 13 to 14, 10 to 11, 9 to 8, and then different coaches. You get what I'm saying? So Snoop was on the oldest. I went
Yeah.
to high school at 13, so I graduated when I was 17, so I was
Oh
young.
wow, wow.
So the team I played on, we had Antonio Pierce, which is the head coach at the Raiders, and then we had Willie McGinnis, which is on. He's on a sports. He's on ESPN. You've seen him starting
Yeah,
linebacker for the Patriots, won a few Super Bowls and stuff like that. So
yeah, yeah.
those two were my head coaches, but we
Wow.
all travel under the Snoop All Star bandana, and then boom, now we're going to go play in Vegas. We're going to go play in different states and stuff like that. So.
Did you ever make it? Did that team ever go to the Battle in Rocky Top here in Tennessee?
Um, I they probably have. I graduated in 2015, so they probably went after that. The few places that I know where they went or we went was to Texas when they played Deion Sanders' team. This is pre Colorado. This was we had a team called Truth.
Yeah,
That was like his Pop Warner team. So that was
yeah,
back in the day. Went to Florida. Went to go play the South Florida Gators with that All Star team. Went to Detroit.
wow.
Um, we went to Vegas to go play every team that was from Vegas, Arizona, stuff like that. So
Nice,
those were the
nice,
teams that I remember where we went.
nice, nice. So you were playing in the West Coast.
Hmm.
What was that like? Getting ready to prepare for your bridge from the high school level to the collegiate level.
I I would say I always knew I had talent, you know, and I was a late bloomer, but I always knew I had talent, but I came at a crossroads in the early part of my high school career where a few things that was happening, kind of just forced me to be at a crossroads to where, hey, I gotta either I'm about to take off and shoot for this next level, or I'm gonna sit right here and be stagnant and you know just not make it. So I think around the end of my 10th grade year, my head coach at the time, he was starting to groom me and say, hey, you coming with us to the playoffs. Like, you're not about to go hang out with your friends on the weekend, even though you're not playing or getting reps. Like, I see greatness in you. And, a lot of coaches there was saying that. But, I was still young. Like I said, I was 14 when I was a sophomore. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
15, 16 as a junior. And then I was 17 when I went and was a freshman in college. So at
Wow.
this time, I still had that kid in me where I
Yeah.
want to go hang out with my friends. Coach, you're not giving me no reps. So I want to go hang out with my friends on the weekend. You're like, no, you come to work out, you come to do this, all this. Like, you're gonna come to this playoff game, even though you're not playing. I'm mad and stuff. And then, my mom at the time, she was telling me to go too. Like, don't
Yeah.
go hang out with your friends, like, all this stuff. And I
Right.
couldn't really see the vision. You get what I'm saying? And then the more hard work that I start to put in, like I said, I was fortunate enough to go to a really prestigious football program where we were allowed to go in there and work out at 5:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning, all that stuff. And then once I got around a high school coach, in particular, one of my high school coaches, he started just putting all these words of positive affirmations, into my life. And then that kind of just springboarding me into a machine. And my junior year, I just turned into a weapon. And it was like overnight success. I went from not having nothing and, talking to my mom like, man, I don't know what to do and all this stuff. And then just overnight success, start getting Power Five, look like offers and all that stuff. So it just shot up from there.
Wow. And that's cool. And I'm glad you said Power Five. And before I forget about it, I'm going to go ahead and skip to that because I was going to ask you, right? I
Yeah.
know you play for Utah State University with the Aggies. Shout out to those guys. And on the West Coast,
Yeah.
what is the difference between getting a D1 offer and a
Yeah.
D1 Power Five offer? What is the difference?
The difference I would say would definitely be, at that time, this 2015. So, like, it wasn't the NIL wasn't out. It was a lot of stuff that wasn't out. Now we had Twitter, we had media. You get what I'm saying? There was a lot of media coverage that was just starting to break through and stuff like that. But I think the real difference, in my experience, from getting a Power Five and between getting a G5 or a FCS, uh, I think number one is the competition, the high school that you at. That's everything.
Okay.
The program, the winning tradition. Are y'all winning championship? Do you guys have a track record or a history of getting guys out to college? Period.
Right.
Who's your head coach? Does he have connections? You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
is the head coach bringing the team to college campuses? You get what I'm saying? So I was more fortunate enough to, be able to play in these stadiums in there. So these coaches getting eyes on me. And like I said, I'm 5'11", so at that time I was 5'10", maybe 160 pounds. So, me, I was fortunate enough to get Power Five, Pac-12, Power Five, just because I had that prototypical body type and size. I'm from the area, and I had more upside, in my game, and then I was versatile, and then on top of that, when I was at these camps, you know, I was going versus the 4 stars and the 5 stars. So
Period.
I was bringing it. I was bringing it, and that was kind of the aura that I had was, when I was coming, I was the top underdog. So everybody else already had their offers coming out their sophomore and freshman year. Mine's came after my junior season. You know, so my early junior season, when it was time to go play these teams and we playing this team, I'm stepping up to the plate and guarding. If it was 2 4 stars on both opposite sides, first down I'm gonna go that way. Second down I'm gonna go to guard him, and then on third down if they put him in the slot, I'm going to get him. So then I started to get traction, and in the LA Times as this cornerback, that was backing down from nobody, and then it just went from there. It just shot up. So I think the difference between getting that Power Five and that G5 and that FCS. A lot of times, a lot of players are better than what they're being recruited at.
Yeah.
Where they're being recruited at. But I think me being from LA, which is a big football hub, I was able to be more unique as far as when y'all come to my 707, like you're gonna get entertained because you're gonna see me go from outside corner, following him, inside, going outside, going to safety, going to nickel. So, I tried to just brand myself in that way.
Well, as far as being entertained, Coach, I was blessed enough to join ETSU's camp you guys had, and I watched you a lot, and it looked like you still got it a little bit, Coach.
Oh
But
yeah,
but you're very engaged with the kids. You move
yeah,
well. It looked like you still got the good body movement, so you're able
yeah.
to get the kids in the right position, man.
Yeah, man. And I'm fortunate enough, to be able to still move around and stuff like that. But like, you got to be engaged with these. You got to be engaged with the kids. Like me, everything I do is 100%. Like if I'm not gonna do nothing, then I won't do it if it's not 100%. So like with the kids, I don't care if like I told them yesterday, like, hey, you work out with me for an hour, you work out with me for 10 minutes, you with me for 1 minute. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna give you my best. Like it's nothing that you're gonna get from me that's passion. Everything I do is just passionate and it's real and authentic. And I enjoy doing what I do. And I enjoy helping the kids as much as I can. Anytime I'm called to do that, I'm called to serve. As a coach. So, um, that's kind of just my identity.
Without you telling me that, I know that, right? And I'm gonna tell you what was the favorite part of my camp. I was able to come Thursday. The favorite part about that camp was when camp was over, you had your defensive back group hanging out with you, and you were just chatting with them. Well, that led to some wide receivers coming over, some linemen came over, some
Mhm.
defensive backs coming over. I mean, not defensive backs, some linemen and linebackers coming over. Coach,
Yeah,
when I tell you everybody was, trying to leave, but you had this one group, and all these kids was huddled around you, and it was like it was almost like a concert, like they was watching, a concert, like they was engaged, and it was you speaking. So that was
mhm.
the favorite part for me to come to that camp, and that was a
Yeah,
true blessing, man. That was a true blessing. So without you telling me that, I definitely can see that because camp was over. Your kids can been gone already, but you had your group, and then your group gravitated other
mhm.
positions over there to your group, and that
Yeah,
was a good sight to see, man. That was real
yeah.
cool. Real
Yeah,
cool.
man. Yeah, man. Nah, it was cool. And like I said, like everything I do, I try to make sure that I just exalt myself. Like the same teachings that I would teach my cornerbacks, the same teachings that I would teach a high school kid that I just met at a camp. Like it's the same thing. So if I require you to give me 100%, I'm about to give you 100% too as well. And then after, like I was a high school player myself, and I always wanted to talk to coaches, but I never, knew how to communicate because the labels and everything. You kind of get starstruck. You get what I'm saying? And you may not know. And I always want to make sure that I just, you know, make sure everybody is comfortable around me. And then once they feel my energy and everything, man, you can go ahead and ask me anything, but I'm gonna make sure that when I leave here, I'm gonna be the last one that left, and then you're gonna have as much information as you can have. So when you go home, now you're inspired. Now you can keep going, you know, and get to where you need to get to in life. Because like, we only got one life. So I got to make sure that, hey, anytime it's a kid in front of me and whatever he may need, period. When I'm right there in this eye contact, man, I'm gonna give you my all. And, I think a lot of kids, they like that and they gravitate towards that because at the end of the day, I don't look at what you got wise. If you don't got anything wise, you could be a 28. You could be a freshman. You could be a rising, corner or football player with tons of offer. Like, I'm going to give you the same attention that I would give a player that I want to commit. Even if you're a player that I know you may not work out here at ETSU. Like, it's just the authenticity. That's what I target. A lot of kids love it.
Well, and I see that, Coach. Let me ask you. I know it's different from you when you was on your way from high school, and what we do here on Exigent Sports is we help the kids bridge the gap. We help the parents bridge the gap of what it's going to take. What steps should you take? What are the things that you would encourage parents and their kids to do if they want to be a student athlete at the next level coming from high school?
I think for one, with me and my mom, right? It takes a village, right? It takes a village, right? Um, I think what parents need to do with their kids is, for one, you have to put him in situations, right, to where his full athletic ability is tested, right? So we can gauge and see where you're at.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, you got to put him in those big time camps. You got to put them up versus, even in high school, like whoever that kid is, let's say your son's a freshman, you know, and then this kid is a junior and he might have, 7 offers, you know, he needs to go battle versus him. You get what I'm saying? Like, he needs to get that experience. I think a lot of times, visuals are everything to me.
Yeah.
If you can see it, you can achieve it, you can believe it, get it done. So I think, getting your kid early to going to these games, right? Seeing these players, right? Seeing their speed, seeing their size. Now they have something to work on when they're in ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. I was fortunate enough to, when I was a kid, one of my god brothers, played at USC in 2005, 2006. So I got pictures of me and Pete Carroll, me and Reggie Bush. I'm breaking down the huddle when I'm 7, 8 years old, literally on the sidelines at they practice every single day with my shoulder pads, knee pads on, thigh pads on, and my cleats on and my helmet on every day.
Yeah.
This is when USC was the Bama of what we think today. This
Yes.
is Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, right?
Yes.
Mike Williams, Steve Smith.
Yes.
This is that era. Troy,
Okay.
like, I
Okay.
was there every single day. When I say every single day. And my dad at the time would bring me to every single USC football game. I didn't know it at the time that he was growing me to see it.
Right.
Because a lot of
Right.
times you might just need to see it, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And I think that's the biggest factor right now, is being able to see it and going to these places earlier than later. So now when they see it, they believe it. Like, okay, wow, he like this. Wow, this player that they may love, they may go to, whatever school, and this player that they've been, looking at on YouTube or looking at the highlights, seeing them, they're like, okay, now when I go on my drills, I can mimic moves like him, and then once they coach plant that seed in their head that you need to work like this to get like him,
Yeah.
then it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Then it's going to happen. So I think, that's a big thing as far as, getting them to see it. Like, every kid that I tell out of camp, I say, listen, you guys need to find every single way to get to our practice or come to a game, because I'm going to prove it to you now. This is what it is. And
Yeah.
then you're going to see I'm coaching them the exact same way that you was being coached in camp. And then now when I send this cornerback to the league, it's all going to just make sense. We're going to keep it super simple.
Man, I
So
love that.
that's one of the big factors that I would say, and then the training and everything else, that'll work with itself. But I think that mental, picture that they could be able to just process and go to those games and see it early, they'll start believing in it. And then when they get better, just continue to believe in themselves, and then they'll be great players for sure.
So, would you say in your little league tenure, prior to middle school, high school, was you considered one of the best then, or were there kids that was better than you?
That's what I was like. I wasn't even the best. Like, I wasn't even the best. My mom thought I was good. I literally told her this maybe a few months. I was like, Mom, I wasn't even good. Mom, I wasn't even good. I knew one day I was gonna be good, but I
Right.
wasn't good. But I was always truthful in my process. And then I always told myself when I got to ninth grade, right, and I figured out my body type and I started growing, and started, greatness is a process. I really do believe that, and everybody got different processes. Some are early birds, some are late bloomers. Some are early birds, some got the Pop Warner sensations. We all know that he's gonna be this, and he gets to college and he
Yeah.
crash,
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
ones that was sitting on the bench, or wasn't getting that many playing time, or wasn't that he just start to grow and grow and grow and just take off, and me, I played a lot. Like I was fortunate enough to play on all-star teams, and as I got it older, I started to get better. But I never forget, I was at this camp, my eighth grade year, this USC Rising eighth graders camp, and they picking the teams, right? And they picking all these players, and in my heart, I'm like, I know y'all gonna pick me at least in the first 30. I was the last one picked. It's like 200 kids,
Wow.
and I vowed to myself. I said, when I get to college, none of these players better not see me. And then I ended up seeing one of these players, and I ended up playing. The first player that they picked was a player that was really really good in eighth grade. Ran a 4.4 in eighth grade,
Wow.
4.4, right? I ended up playing him in college. We ended up beating their team really bad. I ended up getting. That's what I'm saying. Like life worked full circle, but it's all just a process, and and once you master your process, and how you work and how you do things on the high school level as far as working out, staying focused, being able to go to camps, being able to just get better in the process. It'll all work out for you once you get to college.
Absolutely. And I tell a lot of my students or players,
Yeah,
'cause I've had I'll tell you, the first ETSU coach I've had on the show was Jay Graham, right? Shout out to Jay Graham. And
yeah,
he fed me a lot of knowledge. But his thing is always, you got to work hard, but even if you have a chance to make it to the professional league, like, what are you going to do after, right? And so I tell a lot of my people to come on the show, like, under one roof, it's a business, right? So ETSU, or even at the professional level, you have fitness trainers, doctors, personnel, coaches,
yeah.
referees. You have, lawyers for finance, all kind of different things under one roof. So to make sure that they get everything, that they're going to school for what they really love. And if sports don't work out for them, they still can stay in sports and make a career, right?
Hmm.
You're a prime example of that, right? So I don't know what your chances were to go to the NFL, but I do know that you coached at Murray State. I do know that you're at ETSU now. What would you encourage a kid about, how long football can be, and what you should do if it doesn't work?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? It's because every, once you start this, it's always a end. It's always an end. And what I tell my corners now, what I told my defensive backs that I had at Murray State, or any young corner, that put their all into something, and become smart at it and learn the game. And you may not have had your chance. You may have had COVID. Like I had COVID hit. COVID hit. We didn't have a pro day, anything like that. But I felt like I had enough film and I had enough accolades, that I could have had a shot at the next level. I definitely feel that and believe that. But I always know that sometimes powers that be just doesn't let that happen. And life moves on. So what I would tell the kids is if this is something that you truly love and believe in, then the biggest thing is helping the next person. And I always felt like I put so much into this game, and I still got another gear that I haven't even hit yet, knowledge wise. Um, just being able to articulate and communicate and just affect people. Um, that it was a no brainer for me to be a coach. And I did mine's the hard way. I did mine's the hardest way that you could do possible, because I went from the West Coast into the deep South in Kentucky. Didn't know anybody, didn't know anything about recruiting or anything like that. None of the coaches knew me except for one coach So, being able to be a grad assistant there and then get hired full time Division 1, I didn't take any. I kind of shot up, uh, faster than the normal coaching process as it goes. And then to be here at ETSU, um, which is another great program, another great team around some great coaches. And this was another move that I made that, I'm the only one that's from California. I don't have any real time. I didn't coach with any of these coaches here. This was more, word of mouth of that's that guy over there, doing a good job. And then coming here with this staff. So, um, I just apply the same rules, the same, values when I was a football player, into my coaching, going hard, being the top underdog, always working and always leaving a great effect on people. So, for anybody that wants to join and be a coach, man, I think this is the best job that you can have because you're able to teach, you're able to lead, you're able to guide. You get what I'm saying? And you able to teach yourself in the process too, So, um, I would just say, man, listen, I encourage everybody to try it. Just give it a try. Just try
Yeah,
it, give it a
yeah.
try, man. Especially us, we all in this business. We love this is a passionate game, So that'll be my advice, man. I encourage everybody to do it.
I appreciate that. My son, you definitely left the impact on him. He came Thursday. He
Yeah.
was in the DB's group. He wore number 12. His name's
Yeah.
Dane
Yep.
Pendergrass.
Yep. I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. So he told me to tell you what's up too. By the way,
Yeah, man. Tell him I said what's up.
I
We
will.
getting
But you
down to the
definitely left.
game, man.
Yeah, you left the impact on him, man. So I appreciate that. So I plan, to get around you as much as possible. Like you said, come to those games and let him engage and see what's going on there with, with the players and stuff like that. So, fingers crossed on that. That'd be a good move for him because, like I said, the favorite part of that camp for me was when it was all said and done. Like you went from your group to gravitating a whole bunch of different kids around you as if it was a concert. So,
Hmm.
shout out to you for that, Coach.
Yeah,
So, Coach,
man.
tell me something somebody might not know about you. Your average person on the West Coast, what's something they might not know about you? Can you cook? Do you fish? What are you like rock climbing? What's something someone might not know
Hey,
about you?
yeah, man. I like to cook, man. I can cook a lot, man. I can cook, grill. I mean, I can grill, bake, fry, sear, whatever you need done in the, in the kitchen, man. I get it done, man. So I got a good passion for cooking, man. I cook for my corners every Saturday. So every
Oh,
Saturday,
really?
yeah, every
Nice.
Saturday they get a big meal.
Nice.
That's coming from me. So that's one of my hidden talents, man. I know I coach. I know I cook better than any coach on our team right now,
Okay.
hands down,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. That's
Yeah, man.
nice.
Yeah, man. I like to cook. What else? What else do I do? I mean, I read a lot of books, and I read tons of books. And then I give out books too as well to my corners here, making sure that they read in the summer, just something that I may feel that they need, in their spirit. If this corner is lacking something, I'll give them a book. You got a week and a half to, give me a summary about this book. I read this book, so you can't pull the wool over my eyes. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Right.
just to change it up on them and stuff like that. So,
That's nice,
reading,
Coach.
yeah, reading and cooking is my two favorites.
That's what's up, man. I like that. That's awesome, Coach. I really like that. That's pretty cool. That was something I need to know right there. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, man. So I give them a book on, whatever. If they need to read The Art of War because they not understanding, how to be tactical, in what you're doing and what I'm teaching, I give them The Art of War, So uh,
Well, what
they
would you
like that.
encourage a young student athlete in high school? Social media is taking over, Coach. Well, how would you encourage them about their social media?
Uh, I would say use it but don't abuse it. Like use it, but don't abuse it. Like don't be so much infatuated into it. Work more on your process, and that's what I was telling players yesterday. Like while you sitting there posting TikToks and doing everything, that's fine and cool. But that player that when that day comes, when you have to meet him, that day you might have been posting TikToks and looking on Twitter and who got this and who got that. Man, he wasn't on it. He was on the field. You get what I'm saying? So. Um, you're gonna get offers on that grass at the end of the day. You ain't gonna get it from sitting on your phone all day. So I try to tell them, just use it enough to be able to figure out, okay, where's this camp, where's that, and then once you need to figure out that information, everything else should just be strictly weight room. I'm in the class and I'm on the field, like that's it. I wouldn't encourage them now to be on it because there's just so much that's on there right now in the football realm of college football on Twitter. It's like it's insane.
Yeah.
So I would tell them, maybe use it once or twice to figure out, okay, where's this game? Where's this camp? Do I need to reach out to this coach? If not, then I would just say, man, just keep working, keep grinding, because when you get there, they're gonna follow you on Twitter anyway. Um, it's the Twitter world is crazy right now.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Coach. Man, I'm glad you took the time to, talk to, my fans. A lot of kids, a lot of parents need every word that you said. They need to know that. And that's what I do. My push is, and I've coached for a long time. I started
Yeah.
coaching Little League in like 2006, right?
Okay.
And right now, so I'm not coaching on the field or on the basketball court. Right now, all I do is, this is how I coach. This is my way to give back to the kids, to the communities. And so this was one of the best, perfect interviews that I've had in a long while. And you're going to help inspire somebody. This interview is going to take somebody to the next level. And, I just greatly appreciate you taking the time to even give that. Now, Coach, what I am trying to do, obviously, is try to build the platform, get as much insight. If there was somebody that you knew that you would like to see on the show, who would that be?
I got a few guys in mind. So I got one of my close friends that coaches up here, man. His name is Hakeem Gray. Really good D line coach, one of the best D line coaches in the country. Real sharp. He's our assistant head coach. That's one. We got a great wideout coach here, named, excuse me, named Coach Mack. My bad, Coach Mack. So he's our wideout coach here. And then I got a few guys that's from California. I got a really good friend of mine. He's a D coordinator at one of the top junior colleges in California. He'll get on here too as well. I think you'll like his energy. You'll like his spirit. And like I said, he's a really good junior college coach, which that's nothing but underdogs. You go JUCO, like it's hard to make it out of JUCO.
Yeah.
He's doing a very good job. Um, I believe in the next year or two, he would probably step out of the junior college and enter into the FBS, FCS world.
Yeah.
But he's a young coach too, as well, knowledgeable, sharp. All three of those coaches. Our wideout coach here, Keyshawn McClain, Hakeem Gray, okay, and Kevin Puckett. Those are three names for sure that I would put up off the top of my head that'll come on here and give some gems.
Man, I would love for you to make that happen for me. We'll stay
I'll
in
make it happen.
contact. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
yeah, man, I'll make it happen. Like I said, everything is about helping. Everything is about, connection and building a bridge and stuff like that. And if I know somebody or know anything, I don't have any issues on letting anybody else know. Like, so, um, those three are really sharp coaches right now.
Nice, nice. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get that linked up. Coach, what's your dream job before we get off here?
Mm. Right now, and a lot of people ask me, I don't really have a dream. I don't have a exact dream job, but I know if I put my all into it, I'm gonna end up at a place. My dream job, my dream goal is to get as many in my corners or as many players that I recruit graduated and successful in life or at success at the next level. Period. At the end of the day, like I want to get my players graduated, get the paper in their hand, have their families happily and smiling and stuff like that, and being able to go to sleep at night knowing that me as a coach, me as a person in their life, never gave up on them and never let up off of them. So that's my dream goal, and then the job and the accolades, I know all that stuff will come with it.
Absolutely. Coach, that's awesome, man. Thank you for taking the time to join Exigent Sports. I'm not going to hold you much longer. We're going to move forward. But I tell you what I am going to do. For those of you that are still here with me, make one a word. Go ahead and please share. But better than that, I'm going to share in the comments later on his highlight film. You're going to want to watch that, right? And also, this is going to be on Wednesday. We can watch Exigent Sports every Wednesday, but this coming Wednesday, we're going to air this out, and we're going to make sure that highlight film is played. So we're going to go straight to the highlight of Coach Cam Haney when he was in high school, right? So you'll be able to check that out, all right?
All right, man.
Coach, thank you so much, man. Have a blessed day, man. Anything I can do for you, you make sure you let me know. Get in contact with those gentlemen, see if they be interested in joining the show, and we'll keep this rocking, man. Tell the guys out there at ETSU I said hello.
All right, I will, man. Thank you so much, man. And once again, thank you. Shout out to you, man, for just bringing me on here, man. And then I tell your son, and come to our game. He needs to come see it, and stuff like that, man. Just give me a holler, show me a text, whatever, man. I'll get back at you. I'm gonna get those guys on here, though.
That's a promise, Coach. I appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Have a great rest of your day.
You do as well. All right, guys. Coach Cam Haney, Exigent Sports D110, BBB Communications. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you. Have a blessed day.
Hey, I don't know how I made it out. I don't know. Wait, yes, I do. It's right here. It was all by your grace. It was all by your grace. Your amazing grace. Yeah, 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 yeah. And it's all by your grace. It's you who got my way.